Well, welcome to the podcast here, The Devil's Bit. You're with Rory and Ray for tonight's podcast. We're chatting about Manchester United versus West Ham in the Carabao Cup, which ended 1-0 to West Ham with an early enough goal that United did not respond well to. Ray, we're out of the Carabao Cup. Ollie's not going to see silverware from that cup. That's one less cup down. What do you make of it?
Just this is what I was kind of trying to say last week. You cannot be, to be able to compete for these sort of cups, you have to have something that you can always go back to plan B. There was none of that today. I know, totally different team. We tried, even though we looked a little bit shaky the first 5 minutes with Tellez. He just didn't look up to the speed of game early on enough, and I thought that battle between him and Yarmolenko would have been tough for him, and that's where the goal came from. A little bit of not tracking in the box by Donny van de Beek as well. Let's not be beating around the bush. I had to get that in there, but yeah, and we kind of looked like after that we were getting into the game, didn't we, Rory? Like the tempo, we were trying to build up the tempo. Looked the passing out from the back looked crisper than it did in the Premier League against West Ham, I thought. Anyway, so I was feeling good about it.
Yeah. Well, let's bring it back, right? Because there was a lot of changes there. Our whole team was changed. I think West Ham was all players bar one was changed. What did you make of the starting lineup that Ollie put out?
I just thought it was brave. I thought it was the right thing to do, given the fact that we have, we're in the best competition still, will be for a while, and, we're going to be meeting good opposition in the Prem as well. So it's a great opportunity for the lads that didn't play, the likes of Donny van de Beek and stuff, to get starts, all around. Eric Bailly. Yeah, this is a perfect opportunity. We can't argue the fact, even in hindsight, they needed to play.
Yeah.
They didn't. It wasn't. You couldn't really pick anyone out to say. Well, I couldn't anyway. To say it's a terrible game tonight or whatnot. I just thought they were decent. I think going forward we were good until we got to the outside of the box. The sort of similar issues we had, we couldn't find that final ball. A lot of shots were taken outside the box. Especially when Bruno came on. Another way that
I agree with you there that you couldn't pick anyone outside of a bad game. You might pick Martial out just in what you're saying there with that last pass. We felt he was very laboured, lack of movement. I'm starting to forget how he used to score goals. What was it that we used to give him, or that the service he used to get where he was good at scoring goals? It seems to be gone from him. And I don't know what he needs.
He used to have the ability to create them himself, I think he's just getting comfortable, which is very disappointing. He looks like he's getting comfortable with being on the bench.
Yeah.
No, he looks like, I don't want to say it because he's done a lot for the club in the way he lit the scene up and stuff.
But you're right there. You're right.
I know me. I was watching the game on my phone there because my internet went down and all, so I was struggling. I had I was come on and all this, and I'm run down a little bit with everything.
Look, it's that time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, there's something going on. It's probably that COVID.
I heard about that actually.
There was something.
Yeah, right. Getting back to the match, I suppose that's why we're here. But right, I'd say just going back to the start of the match again. Up until their goal, I felt we were reactive.
I just want to scratch me eye there. Yeah, no.
All eyes on you. I'd say we were reactive. We went out and we were like, right, what has West Ham got today? And whatever they have, then we'll react to that. And what that was an early enough goal. Yeah. And then we said, right, now we need to keep the ball. We need to start playing. But that's all we did.
You can be very critical of that there now, and say Tellez, but he just recovered from an ankle injury, and it's his first game back in a while.
Yeah.
So, he did get done for that first goal. And then the ball came into the box too easy. Like your man side-footed it in, Lanzini side-footed it into the empty net, early on as well. And you could argue that like this is not the first time this has happened. It's happened to us. Why do we need to concede before we try and wake up? And I said this on the last podcast. It's not always going to work out this way. We got lucky in the last one.
Mm.
Late penalty save. You know,
Yeah.
getting a goal the way Lingard got it. It's just it's not always going to happen. You need to from the first whistle be on it. That's the issues there. I think, Rory. Would you agree?
The lack of hunger, I would agree with that. And you saw that we have the ability to create chances. You saw when Greenwood came on, straight away, Donny van de Beek gives that ball over the top. Greenwood's there running onto it. And their goalkeeper, forgive me for pronouncing this wrong now, Aurelia, is it right?
Yeah, Aurelio. Yeah,
Terrible names. But like he pulled off some great saves today. He
he did
did.
indeed. Yeah, he's not a
Even
bad
Matic
keeper.
got, I think he was going to hit the bar anyway, but he got a touch on that, pushed it onto
Yeah,
the
the
bar.
Mata one early.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we were pushing on there for a while. It just got stale, right? And I think I've used that word with United before. We're stale going forward, and then
Yeah,
around to a few mistakes at the back. Towards the end of the game, I suppose if you look into the second half, they should have summed that up.
yeah, yeah. When we were pushing very high up, he did get caught out, and Henderson did have to pull off some good saves. There was one by Noble, and then obviously the one near post as well. He got a
Mm.
hand down to it real quick, and I thought we were obviously so lucky for the one hit in the post because he got done by the touch of Yarmolenko. He
Yeah,
he was left in no man's land, the keeper. Then, and there was no way he could recover there. And him hitting the post, that was kind of. Could have gave us a spur on to go on, but like we were saying, man, you could pick and point, but I think there was a bigger issue. The bigger issue is that we, like at the start, I just thought we were finding each other real quick. The tempo was handy enough after we conceded. It was good to watch. It felt like we were going somewhere, and then we kind of ran out of material, if you want me to use that term. What to do and how to find a pass and even when like the pass that was clear to us on TV, it just seemed
yeah,
like the lads couldn't find.
yeah,
Sancho a few times, Jesse Lingard a few times when Greenwood was on the right hand side late on and he decided to shoot. The shots were getting blocked. And credit to West Ham as well. They were a strong unit as well. And it just and I hate to say it, but it just looks like it's it comes from the manager, inspiration from the manager.
mhm,
And I don't want to be the person. I'm not Ollie out. I probably won't be for a while until it becomes very evident to me. But it just looks like we're at that point that everyone was kind of dreading. That was Ollie in, including myself, where we're just kind of what's going on here? Why can't we break down some of these barriers with the players we have at this stage? Still, there was still some good opposition and some good players on that pitch. It showed some strength and depth, didn't it? Like we still had a strong team.
yeah. And I think there was some good performances there. I thought Van der Beek made a few mistakes, but ultimately he did have a good game, and
Rich
I think that
mistakes.
the goal. But at the same time, he was closing down Bowen, who was the target, but the deflection took it on.
He
Um,
was confident. He was confident. He was demanding the
Confident
ball.
on the
That's what I
ball,
like.
right?
He
And he
was.
adds
He
a
was.
dimension. I think he adds a dimension that McTominay and Fred can't offer, where it gets the ball, turns, and goes forward.
He looks great on the ball. He has beautiful touches.
Mm,
You can send someone to the shops any day. He's seen it when he kind of faked the shot with his right foot and went for his left that time, and he just dragged it wide. The like I could see why that maybe the management don't trust him yet. Like there was
yeah,
some parts in the game, like in the corner when we were in the corner boxed in, and he was doing a few Cruyff turns, one too many, and he kind of got pushed off it. A couple of things like that where you're on the ball in midfield, and you might you don't see a pass clear enough and
mm,
you're thinking you're going to lose it, so you just lump it anyway. A couple of them things
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But listen, that could come with games. But he did look good. He looked confident demanding the ball. That's what you want to see, man, at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So Ray, you're talking about Ollie there, and you're talking about you're not Ollie out, but maybe you're not seeing the inspiration for him for the players. And I
Yeah,
think
it's a
we
little bit
talked
early.
about before we're in a game, we might be losing, and it doesn't seem like there's a plan. There was a plan A, get the players on the pitch, move the ball, keep possession, but it doesn't seem like there's a plan B. And if we look at Liverpool beating Norwich actually played quite well at the start, but they ultimately are the better team, and they proved that. And you might say, right, Norwich aren't doing too well this season, but then you look at Chelsea, and Chelsea are playing Spurs. Spurs come out, they put in a good game, and then eventually Chelsea make a few switches. They control the game. They win the match easy enough in the second half. We're 1-0 down from 10 minutes in. So that gives us 80 minutes to try stuff, decide it's not working, and then change it again. Try something new.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that kind of new, let's do something new, let's try this approach until maybe Greenwood or Fernandez came on?
Yeah, to be honest, like if the Elanga substitution was a bit strange to me. You're playing a kid that he's only trying to get into the team. He'll probably, you don't even know if you're assured a spot on the team even in the near future, and you have him kind of playing wing back, and we're so exposed. And you have McTominay on the bench, and you have Matic on the pitch that can maybe slot into that left back position temporarily. You know, it just it doesn't make sense, man. It's like he promised Alanga a game beforehand, and he was like, "I'll get him on, I'll fit him in, I'll try and pull something out of the bag." It's a shame. It's a shame. I'm saying it, but I always thought like when we get a top class team, there's only one way. There's only one way it can go. And that's looking at what's going on and what's coming, the inspiration that's coming off the training ground. What's the message when we go out there? And like there was clips today, and I hope this doesn't creep in the game, but I think we were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, in the
You're
last
never mistaken, mate. You're never mistaken.
never. I'm usually on it,
Yeah, on it.
but there was clips of Bruno. The camera kept going on Bruno. I don't know if you caught that, but he was kind of, I think he was saying something. There's 15 minutes left. That's what I got from it. He was
Yeah,
giving out basically that he should be on earlier and stuff like that, and that's
yeah.
not a good start, man. That's when little cliques develop. He's such a big influence. You're talking to maybe whoever was on that time. I think it was Greenwood beside him, if I'm not mistaken. You're gonna pull him on your side. It's Bruno talking to you here. You know what I mean? You're gonna believe what he's saying. Then you're gonna, this clique's gonna develop, and all of a sudden, the media latch on, and it's game over for Ollie. But let's hope it doesn't. It's only early days, but
Yeah, it's early
honestly,
days, right? But
me
I
gut
think
feelings.
the big test comes up soon, and there's a few people here commenting on us now. So one
What are
person
they
saying
saying?
Ollie's out of his depth, basically what he's saying. A name doesn't
Oh,
come up
sweet.
that comment. Then Darren Sweeney's kind of talking about Jesse Lingard. He kept going for shots maybe instead of making that pass. And you were saying that yourself, Ray, that just that final pass, they just didn't see it. It's easy for us to see on TV, but maybe they didn't see it. So that was
Yeah,
Darren Sweeney there. Then we have more, enjoyable performance, but just lacked imagination at times.
yeah,
And
yeah. True.
definitely
That yeah,
imagination.
I'd agree with that one. I think that one is that one's spot on there. That'll explain my enjoyable performance. I did enjoy seeing the whole team, the rotation. It's just unfortunate, man, that we didn't get a result, or even get a draw and see what happens further on. Because it would have been great for them lads on the pitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we have Mark Ray just finishing up there with, we can't be talking about Ollie in or out. It's only the Carabao Cup. But I suppose what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Ollie in or out, it's really that Ollie needs to win silverware. And this was one road that could have been the easier solution for him to do that. So he's
Yeah, look,
put a lot of more pressure on himself, I think, by
I think the pressure was put on the previous game, man. That's where I started. That's where my frustration came. Honestly, I kind of could see what was going to happen. You cannot win games like that. Like you're talking about Chelsea, they have found a way, man, and on top of that, they have a great manager. and they have good players for that system, and they found a way to win. We have not found that way yet.
Yeah.
There's no identity that team. Like it maybe it's due to come, maybe because we kind of have a fully developed team now. Maybe the next step is to get that identity with the first team and then trickle it down to the likes of a team that played today.
Mm.
But to be honest, I thought this team was more energetic. The passing was crisper all around. When we were moving the ball at times, it was crisp. It looked like the 5 yard movements we were doing was all like it was worked on before, and it looked like that to me. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's a cup game, and you want the result, Rory, don't you?
We do, we do. And right, I'll talk to you about maybe our positive. So our positive is that speed that we have up top with the likes of Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford when he comes back, even Ronaldo when he's sprinting. But our team's starting to suss us out, especially these West Hams and maybe Aston Villas, where they just drop deep.
Yeah,
Then we're passing it around and we're not going anywhere. But
yeah.
maybe against the bigger teams who push on and leave the gaps in the back, do you think we'll see more success with teams who kind of have that sort of play?
I think it depends on who's playing up front. I think that's a massive thing for us at the moment because it just goes to show you what a difference Ronaldo can make. A player that knows where to be. Made a career of in the number 9 of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
Martial, the contrast between that is massive. I think if you had Cavani on that pitch today, things could have been different. He's similar to Ronaldo. He would have been in the right place at the right time, dragging players out. Martial, man, you'd want him. I was watching him a couple of minutes. You'd want him to be the pivotal point up there, occupying the two centre backs. And he wasn't. He was way off. He was 5 yards off at times. When you wanted him to stretch, you could tell there's something going on there with Martial that he's either too comfortable or just not pushed or something. Or maybe the talks of him going to Barcelona, which just came out. I think they're
yeah,
you said it to me earlier, and then I seen a couple of things on YouTube about it. Didn't manage to go into them, so I don't know the credibility of all of it. But there could be something in that, you know what I mean? They're looking for scraps at the moment. So
yeah, yeah. And there's news of Heaton maybe going on loan as well. But yeah, you mentioned Cavani there, Ray, and I suppose what you see Cavani doing when he's on the pitch is he dictates that last part of the pitch. So say players aren't given that last pass, like you said, and like Jesse Lingard's taking shots instead of doing those
yeah,
passes. Cavani will tell them, and he'll say,
yeah,
next time you do this pass. Next time I'll be here. Give the ball there. And we're
yeah,
not seeing that today. We're definitely not seeing it from Martial. So there's no one up there kind of saying this is what we need to do. No one's taking control of the game on the pitch. And then, to be honest, I don't know if anyone's taking control of the game off the pitch. We
yeah,
saw Ollie, giving a few hand gestures for players to push up the pitch towards the end. And then I saw maybe that was towards Van de Beek. He was very high at the end and he was lost. I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
he wasn't getting the ball. And when he was getting the ball, he was surrounded. And that's not how I see him playing well. I think he's more outside the box, kind of dictating the play from the halfway line, pushing the ball forward.
yeah. He did look good at times doing that, collecting the ball even a little bit deeper off the centre backs as well. And he was getting stuck into a few tackles as well late on. He was putting his body in the way, which is good to see, man. It's good attitude. That's all you can ask. He looks fit. So whatever the story was about him, working on his fitness, looks to be true. Looks like he's enjoying it. So fair play to him. Hope we continue, but I can't still see where the question marks are with him. You
Yeah.
know, he,
And
look,
what do you think of the other lads in midfield there, right? Sorry, Mata and
he
Mata.
yeah, like that could be a reason. Donny van der Beek was comfortable in there. If Matic beside you, who in that Rio Ferdinand interview said he was one of the players that he likes to play with. Basically, picked him in his five-a-side team. Mata was also in that team as well. You know, see, you have to think about it. Like when a lot of these players will probably side together in training. So
Yeah,
they'll be used to each other more than the other 11 that'll start off. So, they'll be comfortable around. It's not like, I know they're all together, but when they're breaking off into two different groups, it'll be probably groups that, do the bench together or something like that. They'll stick together rather than, someone creeping in from the bench into the first team sort of little, and that's where, you could feel a little bit intimidated. And I kind of got that from Van de Beek at times when he's mixing it with the big boys, in the first 11. But today I just felt like he felt like he was the big player on the pitch. He
yeah,
had a lot of confidence and he was trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And you have the backing from Matic with his experience. He had a good game as well. He was crisp in his passing. It's not really much you can fault rather than that final ball, and the suspect change as well with Lange. He didn't really
yeah.
bring much. We were overrun on that left hand side straight away. David Moyes made his changes, and that was the plan really, to catch us on the counter attack, and we got lucky in the end, man. To be honest, because it could have been 2-0,
Well,
and
lucky for them, you're 1-0.
it like
Mark Ray saying there that Barca can't afford 40 million for Martial, probably very true at the moment. Then the
yeah.
lads Mick and Glenn are saying thought Van de Beek played well, thought he was probably the best player on the night.
Who's
Um,
that? Who's that person?
Glenn, oh, jeez man, I don't know.
Very
That's
detailed.
commentary. Usually he's on screen. Is he? Is that the lad who does
I
Beyond with
think
us?
so. Yeah, I think that's Glenn. Yeah,
And Mick says, I'd say Mick's giving a man of the match for United side anyway.
yeah.
Right. If you had to point out the good bits of tonight, who are you looking at? Who was promising? Like Sancho hasn't seen much starts for United yet,
Yeah.
but I think he was.
I thought Sancho was I hoped at the start, like I was saying in the chat, that Sancho could run amok today,
Mm,
and again, like it's a different sort of game he's trying to play than Dortmund. Usually, Dortmund, he'll be the main man, and he'll try and instigate everything, and he'll hold on to the ball a lot more than he did at United. He does at United, and I just at times I felt like, will he just hold on to it a little bit more and stop, you know let players move around you before you make your decisions on where
mm,
to go. But it felt like he was just picking out first options all the time, and that was usually just to go back or go, try and create a triangle with, excuse me, try and get Telles on the overlap or something like that, rather than try and be a little bit more direct. Even when he did try that, he was kind of getting blocked, and a lot of our shots were blocked today. Like we were saying, it just goes back to having that final cutting edge. That team has probably not played, hasn't played together. I haven't seen it anyway, and
yeah,
maybe just off the training ground. So, they'll
yeah. And I
probably
think
play
the thing
together once or twice a day.
Glenn said that point. Carabao Cups where you use for blood in the youth. But
Yeah.
on that, you know what I mean. Like some of these players, you should say could be in the first team.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's my main worry there, it just be there's a bigger picture developing, and it's the inevitable. Do you know what I mean? It's the inevitable. It's players are not going to be happy. Big time players are not going to be happy with what's going on. Hopefully we can keep that togetherness that Jesse Lingard and people were talking about when we were on that massive fight after beating Newcastle and beating West Ham and stuff. That togetherness will still be there. When if we pick up more results like this, because honestly, that was my main fear against West Ham in the Premier League, Rory, that we will encounter these coming up when we don't expect it the most. We will hit that.
yeah,
You cannot, Ronaldo's the best player in the world, and he's gonna do it for us. But there's gonna be days when he can't.
yeah,
There's gonna be days when shots like he had in West Ham and he got the goal don't come straight at him for the tap
yeah,
in.
yeah,
So you're gonna have to figure out stuff, what to do as a manager, the inspiration, to start the game off. I know partially comes from players as well, and you know that yourself, but it has to come from I don't know what it is, fear or respect. It treads a line, it treads a thin line, but it's one of them. And
yeah.
that needs to be on show, I think, man, very
Yeah.
quick before it all just goes bust, in my opinion. You know, no one's saying I'm Ollie out around, so don't want to stop debating me now.
Right,
Ollie out,
your opinion's final anyway.
it's not.
So no can be
You're
said.
allowed to change. You're allowed to change your opinion.
Yeah. So
Change
Mick
my name
Donaldson
there, actually.
actually we didn't mention the lot, but he actually did have a very good first half. I think he had a
You
goal
changed
scored
my
on his
name
penalty
there.
as well. None of that now, Ray. None of that. We won't have that, Ray. You're not Ollie out. You're not. I'm
I'm only
Ollie.
messing, bro. I'm only messing, bro. Don't
But,
bar me.
so then, Ray, looking into Aston Villa, I suppose
Yeah.
it's going to be a completely different team. You know, we can't judge it on tonight's performance, but maybe judging it off West Ham's performance and, you know, the other games we've seen start the season. How do you think it's going to fare?
Oh man, it might be, more of the same, to be honest. Could be more of the same stuff we've seen. Trying to play off the scraps, you know. Hope the tempo has to rise, man. The tempo has to rise and try and put the abilities of our, not just Ronaldo, try and have diversions in play and get that going and try and build for Sancho as well, not just a Bruno, whip into the box for Ronaldo all the time, because there's gonna be opposition that will find a way to deal with that. There's gonna be managers that can, get players to mark players out of the game. It's part of the game and it's possible. If Bruno gets nullified, then what happens, So we do have plenty of ability, though. That's the thing. We do have plenty of ability. What I'm trying to say is that the best thing would be to try and divert away from the moments. Try and I'd love to see tap-ins all game, and I'd just love to see that. I'd love to see something come off the training ground where a
Mm.
square ball's coming on, like
Have we seen that yet, Ray?
we've seen a couple, yeah. We have seen that. Some of them have been deflections coming across. Some of them have been keeper spills. But we haven't seen where we're getting in behind the team, Rory, and we're going forward. They're coming back, but we're 2 steps ahead of them, and they can feel it the closer we get to the goal. That there's nothing they can do about it. That's what United is, I think. You know what I mean? We're 1 step ahead, and we're putting the ball across for the likes of Louis Saha or someone like that back in the day, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Louis Saha didn't always play, but he always got tap-ins and stuff.
And they
So
can't stop us, Ray. That's the thing. Yeah, I know.
that's the thing, like, what I'm saying, like, where you can see it coming off and they're struggling to get back, but we're just at 2 steps ahead of them always in the sequence. The ball's coming across and they're diving in to clear it, but they're never going to get it, and we're just tapping it in. That's the stuff that's off the training ground, in my opinion, that I'm used to seeing, when we were booming, and it's not there yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet. But so, what are you hoping for? If you had a prediction for Aston Villa?
Yeah, we'll concede, I think. We probably will concede, but we'll win the game maybe 3-1, I'd say. Well, that's what you reckon. We're back to predictions now, are we?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be positive as well, Ray. I'd hope for a 2-0, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Good
I
show.
think Ollie will push for it, and I think we need to keep clean sheets. We can't have this reactive 1-0 down, 1-alls. It's just not sustainable. And we saw it last season, maybe where that's where the fatigue started to come in. We were constantly chasing. Well, I suppose it wasn't constant, but at one point in the season, it was happening quite a lot.
Yeah.
And like you said, the tempo has to come up in the game then, and you have, you're chasing it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when players get tired.
None of this kind of, monitoring the game, monitoring the game. Okay, I think there's a level of control that, you do need as well, but you'd have to be hungry and show that enthusiasm that you're trying to, take teams' souls, not
Yeah.
just trying to. Really, that's what I think. That's what it is, and that's what the best teams.
Right. Sometimes we show too much respect, I think.
Yeah. Just
You know what I mean?
Chelsea don't do that. Liverpool at the peak didn't do that, you know.
There's an arrogance about the way they play,
Yeah,
and at the
there's
moment we don't have it.
yeah, we don't have that, man, and no, some people would say that that trickles down from the manager. You know, the manager has that imprint in the team, how you approach the game and stuff, and we'll have to see. I hope we get going and we do get to that stage, because these teams, they're playing each other now, if I'm not mistaken. It's all a cluster of games there before we start playing the top six. So, you know, Glenn was saying there, you know, if we beat Aston Villa, what, 16 points or possible 18, or I think he included everything in that. Haven't looked at the table, but yeah, he makes a good point there, and you know, that's all you really want. But to sustain a title challenge, bro, you know yourself, if you're looking at the quality of Chelsea and what's around them and
Yeah,
how well they're going, you're gonna have to be able to have your style of play nailed down like robotics, and then when you know you're scrapping in the last 10, 15 minutes, then you can, you know, if it's 1-0, then yes, that moment, you know, against a top six team, you know, a strike outside the box that will make things even better. You know, not every game, because it's not always going to come every game, I think.
yeah. Right, we'll leave it at that. It'll be
Boys,
interesting to see Chelsea and Man City, what happens there as
yeah,
well.
that'd be a cracker.
Kick off on Saturday. So we'll be back on Sunday. Tune in then. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll be live on Sunday evening. Glenn will hopefully join us from the chat. Today he's having a little type day. He's just doing a bit of typing. But Ray, good chatting to you as always, and I'll catch you again, right?
Catch you soon, bro. Bye now.